Hi, today we're going to explain how to do a web class using the Oxbridge platform. Okay, so first of all, a little bit of preparation just to make sure that you've got no repeated activities from class before or any empty activities. And we can check in our teacher by signing in and our student as and when they do so. If you have got repeated activities, go to the recycle button and tick the reason for why they have been repeated, and then just leave the class to finish loading up the new class. With a web class, you will have to go back out to your main screen and reload the whole class, otherwise it will appear in your web class and you will still see the repeated activity.
Hello, so this is a short tutorial on how to perform web classes. I'm a student today, and here is the screen that I can see as a student, so the material that we are going to use today and probably next time. Right, I can rate the teacher, so let's put her 5 stars. And in order to exit the class, I click on web class and I click to start. Okay, I am doing the class from my phone, so I need to put the computer version. And I'm here.
So welcome to the teachers page. This is the support box which you can easily contact a member of the IT team. It is really important to notify the guys then if your scheduled class has any changes or you cannot contact with your student. And also the other feature on here is the attendance. Very important to mark that as attended when your student attends the class, and this will turn green. Okay, and on this page you can see we've got the chat box in the top, and this allows you to communicate with your student directly by typing into that chat box, and it appears quite a cool feature on your student screen in little speech bubbles. Here you can write corrections, additional vocabulary or quick questions which you can get from your in-person class. So here you can see we're starting the class. And I have prepared some quick questions for us to do already, so I have been typing those in there. So once Anna and I get a stable connection, I've speeded up the class just so that you can see basically the process a little bit quicker, because I think it's really difficult to see if you're going step by step, and I certainly didn't want everyone to attend a half an hour or an hour class. So I'm just going to whiz through all the features. The chat box is to ask questions so they can see them written down, help with additionally with pronunciation, and you can copy this list and paste it into a mail at the end, which I'll show you. So here you can see we're working through the activities in our PPP format, so exactly the same as an in-person class. And after doing 2 or 3 quick questions, we've started going through. Now, if there's any really long texts, sometimes the teacher can read it, or we have audios, as you can see here, where you can read the text from the computer. Now, the only thing I wouldn't suggest is videos, because videos, they tend to, they usually disconnect you. They disconnect your link with your student as they take you away from the page. So I definitely say to advise them to watch them at home or before the class is ideal, and then you can discuss topics around the videos when you're in class. So sometimes I set them for a little bit of homework for the next class. So here we're working through the different activities and attaching attachments that are on them, and any corrections there we're just putting in the chat bar. So sometimes there are GIFs, things that move. Obviously it's really important that they're using the correct browser, so they've got to be using Google Chrome. They can't be using anything else or the program won't work. Okay, and sometimes if you're working within a group, it's really important to facilitate the learning experience and the conversation, because sometimes if there's problems with talking and answering, and with a group of people, to know when to talk is really important. So you've got to direct that and get them talking at the correct time, so it's got a good flow to it. Similarly, asking questions to each other also. And you can write those in the chat box so that they can see there as well. So sometimes for large pieces of writing, especially in a group, the teacher could read a proportion of that out, just so that gives the students a little bit of diversity within the class, and also it allows them to take in more information. So it's good to experiment with both. And sometimes long texts can be a little bit boring, so it just helps the pace of the class a little bit as well. So a lot of the activities that are done in in-person classes can be done online also. I think it's really important to just have a little prepare in your class before you do it, just to make sure of the suitability for any of the practice or produce parts, just to make sure you can see the activity and you have it linked to another activity. Obviously, a lot of the linking we do is done through questions, either quick questions at the beginning or the introductory or wrap-up questions throughout our activities. But certainly to prepare at least 4 or 5 activities before your class starts, it just gives you a head start and just allows you to know how you're going to interlink your activities as well. So another part of taking the class is the general appraisal. And this you can do once you've finished the class and you click finish. You can go to general appraisal and write any tips or hints or advice on things to improve from that lesson or things that they've done well. And then I usually take the vocabulary list and copy and paste it into the mail. So you can click save and then preview mail, and then you can write that in the box and then press send. And the final part of the class, and making sure once you have ticked the attendance, you have sent the mail, you now go back to your in-person class and you can tick off your activities. So you can mark them on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, depending on how good the activity was, and the student's acquisition as well. So you're just going through and rating each activity that you did in that class. Then you will sign the class as the student has attended and ask for the request signature as usual, as you would in an in-person class. And this all ensures that we get paid. So very important for everybody, and means less hassle at the end of the month with unsigned classes. So thanks very much, and enjoy your web classes at home. All right, thank you. Bye.